Hello and good morning. Welcome to this week's REDSHORT webinar. My name is Nathan, and today I will be discussing vulnerabilities in the auto industry. As always, you can find information on similar topics at redskylliance.org. If you have missed any of the previous REDSHORTs, you can find them there as well. Sam Curry is a hacker and bug bounty hunter. He runs a blog at samcurry.net where he posts about his exploits. While visiting the University of Maryland, he and his friends attempted to find vulnerabilities with a scooter's mobile app. After sounding off the horns and turning on the headlights of the scooters, they reported their findings to the scooter manufacturer. Afterwards, they decided to see what else they could get to honk and started looking for vulnerabilities in the automotive industry. This is Curry's second disclosure on the topic. In his original disclosure, he talked about the remote unlocking and starting of cars. And now that 90-day discovery window has closed, he has published a more detailed blog post. As a result of Sam's and his team's work, they had found security vulnerabilities in 16 different car makes and 3 different vehicle technology services. The car makes include Kia, Honda, Infiniti, Nissan, Acura, Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, Genesis, BMW, Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, Ford, Porsche, Toyota, Jaguar, and Land Rover. The impacted services include Spirion, providing services like LoJack, Gold Star, and Fleet Locate, Reviver, which manages digital license plates, and SiriusXM, providing satellite radio. In the research, they found a slew of vulnerabilities, including the ability to take over customer accounts, find vehicle location, execute remote code, and flag the vehicle as stolen. Additionally, they discovered many remote actions such as locking and unlocking the car, turning the vehicle on or off, flashing headlights, and honking the horn. Well, we're not going to go through every vulnerability for each car manufacturer. I will touch on the more critical ones. For BMW and Rolls-Royce, the vulnerability was found through their single sign-on portals. Curry and his team had discovered an API endpoint which responded with all of the available REST endpoints. They realized that we were able to query all BMW and Rolls-Royce user accounts with asterisk queries in the user field of the API. This allowed the team to enter a partial name and retrieve real user information. Curry and company also realized that they were able to find time-based one-time password generation. So when initiating a password reset, they could fully take over any BMW or Rolls-Royce employee and contractor accounts. For Mercedes-Benz and Rolls-Royce, it was a slightly different vulnerability as they were unable to breach the SSO portal itself. Instead, they found that the SSO website was running a lightweight directory access protocol, or LDAP, for employee accounts. Curry's team had found the subdomain umas.mercedesbenz.com used by vehicle repair shops to request specific tools, but it had access to the same database as the core employee system. After signing up through the site registration, they looked for employee tools, eventually finding the company's Git. They were able to access this with their new credentials and access multiple employee-only repositories. This gave access to information for building applications to deploy to customer vehicles. With Ferrari, the team was able to find API keys and register themselves as a super admin user. Once they did this, it allowed them to create, modify, or delete any Ferrari user account, retrieve user email addresses, and manage vehicle profiles. Similar breaches were found allowing full account takeover and remote vehicle access with some of the other brands such as Nissan, Honda, Infiniti, Hyundai, Genesis, and Acura by knowing only the VIN number of the car. The last major breach was through Spirion. Breach team started by accessing the URL admin.spirion.com. This led to an out-of-date global administration portal for Spirion employees. After a few different attempts with manual SQL injection payloads, they tried a simpler method of just sending an apostrophe and then two apostrophes. After seeing initial success with that method, they employed a much simpler payload to skip password authentication and received access to the administrator portal. With this access, they could manage various Spirion devices, including OnStar, GoldStar, and Fleet Locate, retrieving live locations and sending arbitrary commands. They could also create malicious packages and update the vehicle configurations so that the vehicles would reach out themselves to download this malicious package. While the impacted vendors have claimed to have fixed all issues indicated in the report, there are a few ways to try to protect yourself. You should limit any personal information that needs to be shared in the vehicle or in mobile companion apps. You can set your telematics to the most private mode available to avoid sharing location data. You can use strong passwords and two-factor authentication where possible on any applications or services that connect to the vehicle. And lastly, when purchasing used, erase the prior owner's information. While you may practice cybersecurity safety, the previous owner may not have. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the material and found it useful. If you have any further questions on the subject, you can contact us via Jim McKee at jmckee@wapaclabs.com. Have a nice day, and we'll see you again next week.